now going up against the #1 seed, this is going to be a test for the Clairen.
Yeah, this is what I expected truly when we saw Ooda in the bracket in the first part. I was like, oh man, like it's kind of a three-headed race. Like Cheesy is so good performing at the major level on multiple occasions. Nard being an insane player in his own right. And then Ooda being another history player in both Rivals 1 and 2. But then Ooda dropping down to losers early was much a surprise, but making the run back to losers finals, not at all. This is to be expected. These two going at it once again, but the layers to that trap crazy. We're seeing Cheesy take a much different approach to this game compared to how she was playing against Nard. Against Nard, there was a lot more focus on specifically the reversal game off ledge. This time, we're playing with a lot more gumption, a lot more initiative to try and not let Clairen take control, whether that be experience against Ooda or trying out something different against Clairen. It's working to great effect thus far.
Yeah, and as we're going to Julesville for this game, #1 CheesyPotato, you gotta think that the whole reason why I mentioned that it was an uphill battle for Ooda is the fact that CheesyPotato really was just kind of playing with weights on her ankles against Nard, at least in terms of speed. Now maybe like the weights have come off, because I mean it feels like almost an insult to Ooda. It's not meant that way, but I mean Nard does have a certain pedigree about him where you just know what he's been able to do in these brackets. We've seen him take home first place. Ooda has that potential in him, and we're seeing it now taking it to 2 stocks apiece. But CheesyPotato has been going through it against Nard and knows exactly how to play against Clairen. As an idea, a preconceived notion on what they want to be doing against Nard. In fact, they beat Nard the last time out, last week, as you mentioned before. So Ooda has to contend not just against this Kragg, who was very good, but a Kragg who is well familiarized with this matchup. Perhaps a little too much.
I mean, you have to be after playing against Ooda for so long, against so many good Clairens that are around in this in Rivals 2 and even in the game before. This is a really tough. Yeah, there's a ton of them. Boyko being another one that's just so amazing. The amount of pressure that is being applied here from Cheesy is super good to see her do. Like, just generally not deterred by a lot of the setups that Ooda's trying to go for, trying to get her to fall into one of these traps. That's why Ooda's doing a whole lot of fade back nares. Finally finding the grab. It's going to come into the play with a down strong follow-up, but no tipper means no stock. 143 here, Stu, and we're seeing Ooda try and take a little bit of initiative now, put out the rock, take advantage of the rock being there. Another back air follow-up, but there's no stop. It's like that grab was insane, and that down air was even better. You grab the ledge, hold on to it, special getup. The slowness of Kragg's special getup, making full advantage to hold on to that ledge as long as possible. And game #1 goes to Cheesy in very firm fashion.
Yeah, no, that felt like bullying.
No, I wouldn't call it bullying, but I understand what you mean.
Then you're part of the problem, okay? That's enablement, okay?
Okay.
I'm just going to say right now.
Spitting. Don't bully people, kids.
but for real, though.
I can feel like that, though. I understand what you mean.
Yeah, so you are picking up what I'm putting down, if nothing else. But like, yeah, the ability to get these grabs so consistent, getting the Clairen out of shield, and just making this Clairen into ostensibly a punching bag, where you just kind of get knocked around by these rocks and generally the fists that Kragg is able to put in your face. What else are you to do if you are Ooda? It does feel like you're getting skilled at. I hate to put it in those terms, but as good as looking, especially considering the placement of some of these hitboxes, Ooda did not have a chance.
Yeah, that was a super prime placement for that downer. Always got to intercept before the ledge grab. There is no any sort of like two framing or anything like that. You just have to make the hitboxes count. Nice DI out there from Ooda in order to avoid losing the stock there. You just take 70, but this is no pillar. You grab the ledge, find the forward tilt. Again, there is no ledge grab, so still no pillar. Holding on for dear life, and the ledge hog will seal the fate of Cheesy. Nice pickup there from Ooda, who does have a tendency to try and keep things very focused on buttons like forward tilt as nice little finishers, just easy pickup options. Gone for that too many times though. Ooda has been caught looking for up throw forward air re-grab a little too many times, and Cheesy's DI down spot dodge is going to beat that every single time. I kind of want to see him start pivoting more towards these up airs, or at least to hit fall fair ones instead, to maximize damage a little more and keep things consistent. Oh wow, that reached.
So much mileage being gotten out of, like, even just the defensive option, right? That just Kragg has been able to pull out. And I mean, again, the way that you were utilizing these levels, really just, okay, place a combo, why not? But what we've been able to appreciate at the very least from CheesyPotato is like, okay, you can throw them. Obviously, you want to throw them and hit the enemy and get the damage, and that's all well and good. But also just how you are able to manipulate the stage in of itself and get these. Oh my god! I mean, CheesyPotato is. I don't even know what to say at this point. And you're gonna chase him down, get the back air. The recovery is gonna be completely CheesyPotato. Oh my goodness! Put a little sour cream on it. That is going to be 2-0 for the Kragg.
Yeah, that's tough, right? You get the stock, but you miss your own hit fall, so Cheesy gets to live by your own mistake, like not hit falling the fair one, so fair two messes up the amount of knockback that's being applied. And then because you reach out to do all of that over again, you're spending your double jump, and Cheesy's going to take that as a reversal opportunity wholesale, going full send into a big down air play, and it working out like a charm. Ooda and Cheesy up 2-0, trying to get right back to Nard and get right back to where she left off on the winner side of on the number one player, excuse me, winning the entire bracket if she can help it for the second week in a row.
And this is the question. Yeah, Nard definitely watching this rather intently. But I mean, if you are Nard, what is it that you're looking out for the most in terms of what CheesyPotato is able to do to Ooda? I mean, I imagine if you are going to pick one set that you are able to have the luxury to watch and observe, I would imagine that another Clairen would be about as advantageous as you can imagine.
I mean, let's not count Ooda out quite yet. He's a fantastic player in and of himself. Like, has a lot going for him here. Seeing the down tilt follow-ups, going deep with the neutral special this time around as a different means of edge guarding, and the switch over to Merchant Port certainly helping from a sheer space perspective. Not to say that it's been bigger than how a stage like Rockwall can feel in terms of exactly on stage. Rockwall has the swing blast zones that help, but the platform layout for Merchant Port is going to be a little bit more helpful at discerning what Ooda does best, which isn't necessarily a high-strung combo game. It's a coverage game. It's about whittling down options, and accessible platforms like those on the sides here of Merchant Port are way more beneficial for something like that, and turning into something huge. Unfortunately, getting up into a Kragg forward strong, it does hit ledge, so had to pick an option at that timing. Nice recognition there from Cheesy. But at least Ooda's finding some wind in his sails here, especially with a call out on this Kragg rock pull. You're taking all of this damage and then some. Excellent combo. Kragg cannot pick any defensive option while he's holding on to rock. Has to throw it first before getting access to shield or air dodge or any of those tools. And Ooda took full advantage after getting the hit and then some. Another forward air for coverage. These pillarless recoveries are getting swallowed up, and then the forward strong to finish her.
Stuff at ledge again. Whatever you can do to take away CheesyPotato's options, especially when you aren't able to garner the advantage. Perhaps a crack in the rock armor of CheesyPotato. Again, this is what you want to be doing, right? Establishing
Oh
that
my
grab
god.
game for yourself, but well placed with the down air to get yourself into one stock of peace. There's a storm of ruin, perhaps. CheesyPotato not out of this yet. I mean, it's like you said, that numerical advantage is not a lead. I would imagine that is doubly so against with a character like Kragg.
Kragg can just go into his bag so many times, but not this time. Back air into forward strong, sour back air specifically, not a tipper. You get a different combo, and whether it's tipper or non-tipper, and both players laughing a little bit at some of the ridiculous reversals that Cheesy's able to pull off, but that's her staple. That's what she does. She's always been so comfortable in the offstage game. Ooda getting a full display of it yet again here, but going to Fire Capital to try and maximize some space to see if Cheesy can get out of any sort of juggle game like this is not going to start off as well as she hopes, finding a ton of resets there as Ooda, as we are holding down center stage. Ooda not letting the early two games throw any sort of lack of conviction he had, but going a little too off stage. That is so brutal. Again, Ooda in a prime position, in a comfortable position even, but selling it out to try and opening things up with a stock lead and not gonna get it, and instead being on the brunt side of a massive deficit.
I don't know if that uh-oh was audible, but yeah, I really did try to keep that under my breath. That was not good. I do believe, well, one, Fire Capital's first appearance. Secondly, it's an interesting choice for the counterpick, because you did see Ooda do quite well, even though you had to kind of measure the jumps so as to not have it interfere with your offense or your movement in general. Doing very well. Kragg at ledge. CheesyPotato having a tough time dealing with those little short hop back airs that Ooda was throwing out. But nonetheless, this is a miracle advantage that has been garnered because, like you mentioned, Ooda getting a little too greedy, trying to get this done. And now, 2-3 stocks later, you have CheesyPotato with a 3-stock to 1 lead, tenuous as it may be, considering the Kragg is at 181. This is dominance, what we're seeing right now with CheesyPotato as they're 1 stock away. She may well be going on to the grand finals against Stars unless Ooda can pull something out of the hat.
Not impossible, but a stage like Fire Capital is what makes that so difficult. It's the reason that Cheesy picked this counter pick. Baby dash jab. Okay, trying to get some more cheeky openings. You kind of have to be a little cheeky when it comes to a deficit like this, but making Kragg feel big and feel like weak on hit is kind of the point. You need to make sure you're finding those extensions. A little bit of a early air dodge, but we're finding a neutral air down air. Oh, and we're extending off the platform. Tech chase. Nice follow up from Ooda. Needs to find the down tilt, finds the forward strong instead. There's no pillar here, just a pillarless recovery and no means to make it back. Ooda with a excellent spot for that forward strong in order to bring himself back into this game. Gotta be careful of the rock, played around it beautifully. Still in a position where without a clean edge guard, Ooda is very far behind, has to make something happen. Back throw into jabs, putting out down tilts, trying for as much of these little presses as possible to turn them into massive reward by nature of Clairen's tippers being so opening, but a down throw into down strong. That time it was hard to DI up and in. It probably anticipating forward air to come in, but the dash through down